Flash or what is
Exert your
this?
will through trading card games.
Oh my goodness.
Scramble Diamond Cup participants. Your time is nigh.
Yes, round 4 pairings are real. Go ahead and find your opponent. And beat
Like
them
a
up.
fish, things just got real.
Oh my goodness. Summons are 1-0. I don't know. We'll have to look at that here in a minute.
Those probably are drops.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm looking at them and they
Do
should
we
be
have
drops.
do we have a feature match, Tech Monkey?
Not at the moment.
Didn't you have 1,000 hours to get a hold of something for us? Looks
Maybe.
like Golden Saucer guy, who's been in chat all day, has got his stream going. What else do we have? Doesn't look like that one player is actually playing the Diamond Cup. Wecco's still up. Who is this over here? Eladrimil? Eladimero is streaming.
Why don't we go ahead and do Golden Saucer Guy? Because in looking
Yeah,
at the standings,
looks like
Golden
we-
Saucer Guy's 2-1, so that sounds good.
Chances already popped his stream up just for us as well, so let's go load that up. Tech Monkey, chop chop, go go!
On it.
Everyone else has started their matches. Why haven't you started the feature match?
Man, the abuse I have to put up with.
Yep, so it looks like we have a hand blocker here in the way. Also a little bit of a pretty interesting stream layout. But it's a little bit smaller of a screen, but that's cool. Golden Saucer Guy versus Zabuli. So there's a couple of people who've been chatting all day, I believe. If Zabuli hasn't been chatting, I'll be surprised. Well, or hasn't been watching. Zabuli's always watching. Cabal Papa meant to stream, but with the lag you haven't been able to. That's fine. 152 players competed. We've improved over the Blood Cup. Huzzah!
By one whole person.
Yeah, I mean, improvement's improvement, man. If you lift weights all day, it'll happen. So Golden Saucer Guy playing a champion we haven't seen much of yet this tournament, Running Deer. Whereas Zabuli is playing Sir Giles Gilles's Rowan. So a little
Sonic
interesting. Sir Sonic Boom! They both lead off with shards. Golden Saucer Guy, of course, leading off with a wild shard, as is the norm for a Running Deer deck. The first diamond shard, and it looks like Zabuli is laying down the Royal Herald, a 2-1 for 2 human who will allow him to choose a threshold of the shards of Hex. That is Ruby, Sapphire, and Diamond. We might see our first tri-shard human deck. These guys rocking awesome sleeves here, the poster sleeves and the charity sleeves. Very impressive. Royal Herald finds, after some deliberation, a Sapphire shard. So Zabuli is in fact playing at least tri-shard humans. Golden Saucer Guy responds with a shard and passes turn. There you go. Whew.
That's the first Tri-Shard human deck we've seen.
Yeah, not the only one in the tournament, I'm sure, but the first one we've actually seen.
I think you guys are behind.
It's entirely possible that the internet has created small differences in the tube between us. So we might be 10 to 15 seconds behind you, Tech, and you just kind of have to deal with that, I guess. Sorry, man. The Royal Cutlet comes down, and that is probably one of my most predictably scary cards of the tournament. A 1-1 for 3. If you happen, it has Rage 1 by base. If you have a Diamond threshold, it gains Life Drain. If you have a Sapphire threshold, it gains Unblockable. So in this particular case, Zabuli has all three, and we're now talking about uh, we're talking about a Rage 1 unblockable life drain, followed up by another Rage 1 unblockable life drain troop. Golden Saucer guy gonna need something here. Looks like he missed. When I say it looks like, he absolutely missed his shard. Looks like he missed another one here. So that's 2 turns in a row, just drawing a card. Now he's gonna have to discard. Might actually be worth packing it up here, just to not show off your deck. I suppose it's not an issue to him as he discards a card. I don't know what his second. Well, his second shard must be Ruby. We see he just discarded a Scrap Tech Brawler.
Yep.
I'm not actually sure he has an answer to this. Safini and Godvilla. It looks like your opponents are looking for you in Twitch chat right now.
I mean, if Golden Saucer guy has Fisher Smiths, it's possible he maybe could get back into it, but the window's very quickly closing.
You know,
Nope.
I don't see it happening. I think you're
Nope.
wrong.
I'm wrong on that. He doesn't even have enough with that.
Godvilla's name is in the proving ground.
He's
So
got the chance
there's
to
that.
move.
Sacred 1 seconds can't find you. So he's going to concede, and that was a quick game 1. Hopefully, game 2 he doesn't keep. Well, I mean, if he does keep a risky hand, I'm not going to say I hope he doesn't keep a risky hand. Hopefully, in game 2 things pan out better for our featured match streamer here, Golden Saucer guy. I mean, things just happen sometimes. So humans, Royal Cutblood. I've talked about why we haven't seen any humans, but Royal Cutblood is really the reason I expected to see more of them. With at best, I would say 12 pieces of removal in your deck, and with at best like 4 to 6 of those being actually playable early on. A Rage 1 unblockable, like it's essentially a super Thunderbird.
Yes.
And in this format where it's kind of hard to deal with, I mean, it's rough. Like if you're playing Blood Ruby, you have access to maybe Boulder Toss, Crackling Rock, Crackling Bolt as the best answers for it. But generally, all of those removals are 1-for-1, right?
Yeah.
And if you're using a 1-for-1 removal that has, especially like Boulder Toss has much better potential somewhere else, you run the risk of just losing value there and getting beat out by the other big humans, as well as humans having access to things like War Prodigy and other very strong human lords, so to speak. Divine Like God, not responding to whispers or in general chat, so Bayashi Fukushi is looking for you. Isn't Heatwave set 2? No, it is definitely a set 1 card. Why is there nothing on the stream? Perhaps Technophy is bad at his job.
You sure?
Nope.
It's
It
there.
looks like, yeah, it's there. I see it. I would try restarting Rouge. If you were wondering why they were in the reserves, they were in the reserves. So here comes that shard right off the bat. The Diamond Ruby shard is... I should know this one. It's Conquest? Does that sound right? Yeah, Conquest. And Diamond shard coming out for Zabuli. Already both thresholds online from Golden Saucer guys. That's a little bit better than we were looking at last time for him. Let's see what Zabuli has for turn 2. Another Shard of Conquest. Hope I've got that name right. The Ruby and Diamond multi-gem. Queen's Guard. 1-1 for 1. If you have Ruby, Sapphire, and Diamond, every time you gain one of those thresholds, it will gain a permanent +1/+1, and it in fact gains it when you play the third one.
Yeah, Queensguard definitely one of the best plays from the humans deck. Put on early pressure against whatever opponent you've got, and it can pretty quickly get out of range if you don't contain it in the first couple of turns it comes down.
It's actually really interesting because it does a lot of things. If it makes your opponent use removal, they're using removal on a 1-drop. If it gets out of hand and your opponent uses, say, Crackling Rot, it can come back from that. Very strong, actually. It makes all of your shard drops a little bit better. Vanguard of Gawain, a 2/1 with for 3. Pretty bad troop until you consider that if you have a Ruby, it becomes a 3/2 with Swift Strike. Whoa. 3/2 with Swift Strike for 3, very strong. Maybe not as strong as the turn 4 Wrathwood Master Moss, the 5/5 for 4. When it dies, it creates a 2/2 Mossling, and if that Mossling deals damage, it transforms back into a Wrathwood Master Moss. I know we've seen a lot of it today, guys, but somebody might be watching just this individual match, so you'll hear me tell you what it is again. The third Shard of Conquest from Zebuli, activating and turning Queensguard into a 3/3, Sir Giles' power coming down, giving all humans and, I want to say warrior, but a Queensguard could be a cleric. I think it's a warrior. All humans and warriors in Zebuli's deck, a permanent 1 bonus attack in his hand, on the board, and in his deck, which includes the other Vanguard of Gawain. Now, we talked a lot today about how strong Wrathwood Master Moss is, but even a 5/5 for 4 can't swing past 8 attack worth of Swift Strike. That Swift Strike will deal damage in the battle before Wrathwood Master Moss and just kill it. Looks like we're going to see... This is probably a Bolt.
Probably Bolt here. Just thinking about his targets, the problem is, again, if you don't answer the Vanguard now, is it going to grow out of range to where your Master Mosses can't even deal with it anymore?
You mean the Queensguard?
Queensguard, yes.
Yeah, that other troop on Golden Saucer Guy's field is the Constantina, a 2-cost 3/3, insane value with Steadfast. She also makes it so that your troops can't be forced to exhaust, which in this format is actually fairly powerful against the Pulse Reactor. Otherwise, not a lot of things. Oh, and Highland Shinobi. Otherwise, not a lot of other effects force you to exhaust.
Yeah, the Highland Shinobi is another one that we haven't seen too much of that I was hoping.
Which I expected to see a ton of.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems powerful enough, but we haven't seen it yet anyway. So here we just see another shard. The Queensguard grows again. Oh, and now here's the Royal Herald, and we're going to get another shard fixing to grow the Queensguard again. So the 1-drop is now a 6/5. We get a sneak peek at a card from Golden Saucer Guy here.
Yeah. We also get to see Golden Saucer Guy checking his viewer count. There I am. Ha-ha! We're watching you. So that Queensguard... This is a lot of value out of humans. Oh, but the answer is here. The Filcape doesn't care. The Filcape, a 4/5 for 5. At the end of turn, it will revute every troop on the board. And what that does is it turns the Wrathwood Master Mossling into a Master Moss, a Master Moss. It will take that Queensguard back down to 1/1. It'll remove Sir Giles' champion power from all of the troops that it's been played on. And it will generally make Zebuli very sad here because he's no longer able to swing in and he wasn't able to pressure a lot of damage. But here comes that War Prodigy, the 3-cost 3/3. If you have 2 Sapphire, 2 Diamond, 2 Ruby threshold, it will give, not as a temporary